Q&A.
How often do you get your period? How do you structure workouts weekly? Can you give us a breakdown how much you make exactly in average? Do you want to have a baby? What's your current height and weight? Best exercises to build core strength. What were the keys to get rid of your bloating?
Ooh.
Do you have a boyfriend? How to lean out after bulking without losing results? How do I best balance carbs and protein? How do you stay lean year-round? Any struggles with binge eat ED have you experienced? How much cardio do you practice? How do you stop being self-conscious when you're recording in public?
I asked on my Instagram to send me some questions. You sent me some good ones. We're gonna make a delicious banana bread while we do that, because I always forget. I'm gonna start off by turning on the oven. We have it at 75 degrees. Let's smash some banana.
How's life going?
Complete honesty, at this very moment today, I got some news in my personal life that is a little bit challenging for me. I'm choosing not to share the specifics of what's going on because I think we need to work through it ourselves before we share it with the rest of the world. But so today has been a little bit challenging. I believe that when you're going through challenges, they do need to be taken seriously and they need to be worked through and taken care of. I'm trying to focus on all the things I have in my life to be so freaking grateful for whenever I go through a challenge. Sometimes if you're in a funk or feeling a little bit down, it can be really useful to snap yourself out of it, either through like doing banana bread like we are right now, hanging out with a friend like I also am right now, focusing on the good like I also am right now, working out, feeling nature, going outside, getting some sunlight, like doing things that make you feel better whenever you're going through something, I think is always good. So life in this very moment is good, but I just wanted to be transparent about the fact that this morning was a little bit more challenging. That was a long answer. 1 banana is what we're using.
What are some of your non-negotiables for yourself?
Ooh, let me answer that while we add in some protein powder. I got this specific banana bread protein powder from Jim's Nutrition. We're gonna add 1 scoop. Literally, you can use whatever protein powder you have available. Non-negotiables for me are working out. It's my nutrition. I like the way that I eat. That makes me feel really good. It's positivity. I need positivity in my life, regardless of how challenging conversations I may need to have or challenges I'm going through. It's very important for me to always find the positive in life. Family, relationships, being able to be free to create whatever I want. I really like the freedom of being able to wake up and do whatever I want. I'm very not wanting to plan my life more than like a month ahead of time because I want the freedom to be able to do whatever I want. Next up, we're gonna add some egg white. You can also use normal egg if you'd rather prefer that. This is just for a little bit extra protein. 6 tablespoons.
Or how do you structure workouts weekly? Can you give an example?
Ooh, that's a good question. I either do like legs, upper body, like I change up. Maybe one day I'll do just like the heavy compound upper body, back, shoulders, biceps, and then the next day I'll do a little bit of just like overall upper body, but like less weight. But the most important priority right now is doing legs every 3rd day. And then cardio, sometimes I'll do cardio every single day. I've been doing a lot of Stairmaster recently, and other times I won't be doing as much. It just kind of depends on what mood I'm in, I guess. All right, next up, we're gonna add 1 cup of oats. And I'm gonna blend it in my blender.
What inspirational books do you recommend?
Ooh, we just made a video on that. If you haven't watched my book recommendation video, you should check it out right here. 5 off of the top of my head. The Alter Ego Effect, Universe Has Your Back, Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating by Alan Carr, Kill Your Life by Louise Hay, and Believe It by Jamie Carolina. We're doing 1 cup, and I am blending up my oatmeal. I always bake with my oatmeal.
How do you keep your consistent energy, positivity, bright outlook, sincerity? I haven't seen a dip in 2 years.
Well, I'm happy we started this video off of sharing that I had a challenging time this morning because it's all about what do we focus on and really working through them. I think we all know what things bring us energy, what things get us into a better state emotionally, and even when we're going through difficult times, snapping out of it and doing those things that we know are gonna make us feel better. So I have had many dips the last 2 years, that's for sure, but still have look.
Can you give us a breakdown how much you make exactly in average a month, bills, savings?
Oh my God, it varies like crazy. As an influencer, it really depends on what are the sponsorships you get on a certain month. Am I running challenges? Am I promoting my ebook, which I highly recommend. If you're new here, I'm currently in the middle of a 30-day YouTube video challenge where every single day I'm giving one of my training programs, nutrition guides and journaling challenge just for free, blah, blah. But also, if I sell a lot of those, then obviously I'll be making more. How many views I get on these YouTube videos. So very many factors play a role and it's so inconsistent. It's literally up and down. And I'm sure if I was a better businesswoman, I'd be better at it, but I'm not. I'm still learning. I think also the finances of it is not what excites me. Being creative and bringing out useful content, that freaking thrills me. So that's really my main focus. A little bit of applesauce, maybe 2 tablespoons. Yeah, a big one.
How often do you get your period?
So I had it a few days ago, and if you saw this video, you know that my emotional state one time a month is wobbly, let's just say. I do have a spiral, and the spiral, whenever I take it out, it's consistent. This happened to my mom as well. She had it for years. When it's in, it gets less and more inconsistent. But when I take it out, it's consistent, so.
If you ever need someone to join your team, I will be first to apply.
Thank you.
I would love to meet you one day.
I would love to meet you too.
I love you.
I love you too.
Do you have a boyfriend?
I do.
I would love a video of high protein, healthy eating, but on a budget.
I have made that.
You have made that?
I've made a few. You should check out this video. I bring a lot of good budget options. Aldi, Walmart is also where you can get a lot of the cheaper stuff. Okay, we're gonna add some monk fruit.
Do you ever feel like you're missing out on life?
I literally feel so happy, and I understand why people would say that, especially with my sleep routine. Like I go to bed at 8, I wake up at 4, but I am living my life in the way that makes me my absolute happiest. And I think because I've gotten so clear on what are my priorities, what I want for my life, then because I'm living in alignment with that, I don't feel like I'm missing out. Obviously, I would like to write a book at the same time as being a public speaker, at the same time as being a full-time YouTube creator, posting on Instagram and TikTok every single day, and going to Summit every single month to learn and read 1 new book every day. Like I would like to do all of those things. So in that sense, I guess I feel like I am, because I can only do so much in a day. This is good.
What's your current height and weight?
I will answer that after we melt some. I can't believe it's not butter, but you can use regular butter as well. A little melty butter. It is 5'8", and I've gained a few pounds recently, so maybe 125 or something.
Do you want to have a baby?
That is something that I do not want in this moment of my life, but what I know is that I consistently am changing, so who knows that in 5 years I'm gonna really want to be a mom. I think I like to just go day by day and feel what feels right to me in this moment of my life, so I'm not really taking that into consideration at this very moment. But my brother just became a dad, and that means I'm an auntie, and that is very exciting to me. Little baking.
Best exercises to build core strength.
Anything where your abs are weighted, add resistance to it. Every single time, add more and more resistance to it. Just like when you're training your biceps, you want to go a little bit harder for every single workout. It's the same with the abs. Make sure that the actual workout is actually beginning when it starts getting hard. That's where you're really gonna see progress, is when you keep going when it feels very uncomfortable. Don't just do crunches all day long. Add some resistance training. Hanging leg raises is great. Weighted ab workouts is great. Abs on an incline is great because it's adding more resistance to your abs. Okay, let's put this in the mix.
How to lean out after bulking without losing results.
Be in a slight caloric deficit. The more in a deficit you are, the more muscle you're gonna be losing as well while you are leaning out. So if you are just in a few hundred calories in a deficit every single day, then you can continuously maintain more of your muscle as you go about leaning out. That's literally what I did. If you've been seeing my recent fitness type videos, that is what I've done. I've literally just recompositioned my body. I didn't gain any fat, I just gained muscle and actually lowered my fat in the midst of it. The last few weeks I have been gaining some as well. If you watch this video, you know all about that.
What are your goals for 2024?
I was actually thinking about doing a full video on this. I can share one goal, and that is letting go of the outcome. Literally just focusing on how can I bring value to the people who watch my stuff? How can I make sure that every part of this journey is enjoyable? Because what I'm realizing more and more as I get older is that literally you don't become happy once you've achieve your goal. It really is all in the process. The building of this banana bread, it's just as fun as eating it.
Can you do a nighttime routine video?
I can, but the reality is I don't have a night routine right now. I literally just chill in my bed with whatever. Sometimes I've just been listening to a podcast or something, falling asleep. Sometimes I put on a meditation. I'm so good with my morning routine, and my night routine is a little bit more of a mess. Let's put this in. For about 10 minutes, I think.
What were the keys to get rid of your bloating?
Watch this video, but eating a clean diet, I think we all know what are the clean ingredients that we can be eating. I realized too many veggies, too much fruit can actually cause me to bloat, so that's something to be aware of. Getting pre and probiotics, if you're not getting enough through your actual diet, make sure maybe you take some supplements. Too much protein can actually do it as well. Too much processed can do it as well. There's so many different factors, and I think all of our bodies react differently to different foods, so it's just about incorporating small things, taking things away, and little by little learning what works and what doesn't.
My friends always go to restaurants and I'm on a diet and don't eat with them. I feel very guilty.
That is not a problem. I feel like any restaurant you go to, you can find healthy foods. And I actually made this video. I show you, regardless of what fast food restaurant you go to, there's always a way for you to eat healthy foods.
Can I see results by working out purely at home and no gym?
Absolutely, you can get the same result. I would recommend that you get like weights so that you have some sort of resistance. But as long as you go a little bit harder for every single workout, you can totally get results with that.
What's your favorite snack?
I have so many. Okay, but my recent one that I've shown in so many of my videos recently, I'm gonna dig into my trash. These Amron chips, I am obsessed. Every bag comes with 35 calories and 5 grams of protein, and I definitely didn't have like 5 bags yesterday. I'm a massive fan of oatmeal, massive fan of these little like protein cake snacks, massive fan of veggies, carrots.
Where to start after illness? I've lost all muscle.
It can be a positive thing to have to start from scratch because you can set a goal, and I feel like every time we set a new goal, it gets us excited to create this new thing, right? So go slow, be patient, and have fun on the journey. Like do things that you enjoy doing while doing it, and don't go too hard.
Does being so dedicated to your goals impact your personal life?
I think in some ways it does, for sure, because like the fact that I go to bed at 8, I think was like, my boyfriend at first was like, okay, but is very respectful of it. I think I'm committed to the things I want to do, and sometimes maybe that'll make me go visit Denmark a little bit less than if I weren't as committed. But it makes me really happy, and I think that the people in my life want me to be happy, so they respect it and support me in that.
What brand creatine do you use?
Oh, these are great questions. So this is the creatine I have been using recently. It's Pure Rebel at One Up Nutrition because it comes with a ton of great things. Like first of all, the creatine monohydrate is the thing that I think is the most important to be taking if you're trying to take creatine. And it comes with 5,000 milligrams of that, which is like the typical amount that you should have, together with vegan glutamine, L-leucine, just good stuff. So I take a scoop of that every single day. If you have a code PRNELLA, get 20% off, but also, if you can find anything where it's just like creatine monohydrate, that should do.
How long are your workouts?
I would say typically an hour. Sometimes if I'm being slow and it's a leg day, it could go all the way up to 2 hours, but that's like me talking, being a little bit lazy in between sets, taking my time, chilling. And upper body could take me like 30 minutes, but I would say on average, it's like an hour.
Will you ever run half a full marathon?
A year ago, I ran a marathon. I've been thinking about like, could I run a marathon? And I really wanted to figure out, so I woke up one day and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I did document it for YouTube, so I do have a video up on my channel. It's literally just me in Santa Monica being like, I'm gonna run a marathon today. And I did it turtle speed because I had not trained for it, so.
How much protein is ideal for weight loss?
That depends on everything. It depends on whether you're female or male, your weight, what your goals are specifically, how much lean muscle you already have. But a general rule of thumb that people say is 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass.
What kind of music you recommend for training in the gym?
I am the worst with that. Like I just listen to like top 100 pop music and that's it. So I wouldn't ask me. I would ask Kelty O'Connor, the other YouTuber. She would know.
Leg workout. How do you keep them skinny? I have big legs.
I made a video about the difference between being lean and bulky, and it all has to do with your overall nutrition. How much calories you burn and how much calories you take in every single day. If you want to lean out, you have to be in a little bit of a caloric deficit. If you want to be more bulky, be bigger, then you've got to be in a little bit of a caloric surplus. And I think a lot of females are worried about this when really it all comes down to nutrition. It is done. Oh my goodness. It is hot in here. Oh, do you smell that? It's banana bread.
How do you stay lean year-round?
I have developed habits that I love, that make me feel energized, that make me feel full, that make me maintain that all year round. But also it's like about showing up at the gym when I really don't feel like it. Like today, I probably don't feel like it, but I'm gonna go anyway because going back to non-negotiables is a non-negotiable for me.
How do you get over cravings for sugar?
Things like this. And each of these slices are gonna be probably around 50 calories, which that's insane. So mindful of things like this.
How do I best balance carbs and protein?
I think it's different for every person, like what makes them feel best. If you just make sure to get in the amount of protein that you know is necessary for your body to feel at its best, then the carbs can come by itself because you can just add that up for the rest of your calories. And I feel like there's no reason for you to track every day. Like, you don't need to do that. But if you track for a few days just to see, oh, how much protein am I getting in like my regular day, then you can just make small little changes to how you live your life. So it does not control your life, but it's just like, oh, maybe I should add a little bit extra protein in for my breakfast or for my late night snack, which could be something like a protein banana bread.
If you're comfortable sharing, any struggles with binge eat ED, have you experienced this?
I have in my life when I did not know how to handle my emotions, I would eat it away. That's something I've definitely had a lot of in my life. And I think it's this practice, and I'm calling it a practice because it's not like from one day to the other, you just make a shift. You can easily get back to it again at some point. If you're in a weak spot, like you can go back to your old habits, right? So it's about whenever it does happen that you're feeling some emotion that you don't know how to handle, or you just feel anxiety and you don't know why it's even happened. It's like you ask yourself, what is it that is triggering me right now? Why am I feeling this way? And instead of grabbing the food to cure the issue, you actually do your best to sit with the emotions and see what can you do to solve it? What can you do to make yourself feel better? It's a practice for sure.
Do you take pre-workout? If so, what's your favorite? Love you.
I do take pre-workout, and I love you too. Seriously, so much. I'm so grateful for you. This is the one I've been taking recently. It's Performance, Endurance, Pump, Focus, and Mood. It's One Up Nutrition. Again, code Pernella. Delicious. This one is strawberry margarita, and this is the closest thing I get to actually drinking alcohol. I mean, sometimes I'll have alcohol, but it's very rare. So this is like my type of alcohol.
Your abs are so good.
Today they're not as good as they have been. The last few weeks I've been eating in a little bit of a surplus, so that shows on my abs right away. Yeah, I do have abs, obviously, but it's interesting how quickly you can see it if you're not consistent with the lean diet.
How did you and Alex meet? Would love to know your story. You're such a cute couple.
We met at the gym. He had seen a video of me putting mayo on my toothbrush.
I've been getting up at 4 a.m. consistently now for over 3 years, and here's what I do. I make my—
And the first thing he ever said to me was like, oh, mayo on your toothbrush? That's pretty bold of you. And I was like, who is this hot guy? Because that's so embarrassing if that's the video he's seen of me. Ah! I'm freaking out. No, I wasn't freaking out.
Do you have any good quinoa recipe?
Quinoa, oh my gosh, a quinoa salad is so good. Literally just mix in quinoa with a bunch of veggies, maybe some chicken. That is so good.
How old are you?
I'm 28. Why was I so excited about that?
How much cardio do you practice?
It depends. Sometimes I'll do a full hour on the Stairmaster, a full dance class. Sometimes I won't do anything at all. It really depends on like the mood I'm in. Hello! Oh no, come in!
What kind of meditation do you do?
I change it up. Sometimes I will just put on music, just close my eyes and focus on my breathing. And sometimes I will put on a meditation from YouTube, like a guided meditation. That's actually what I do for the majority of the time. Then sometimes I've done like a Tony Robbins priming exercise. Sometimes it's like a Joe Dispenza deep manifestation meditation. And sometimes it's just like a little gratitude practice. So it really changes up. This is so good. And the sour cream is actually an essential. That's so good. Let's do 3 more questions as we enjoy some of this delicious banana bread, because it's actually so good.
Visualization. Could you talk about this a bit more, please?
First, I think it's important to put down on a piece of paper what you want for your life and dream big. Don't limit yourself as to what you can do. If someone else has been able to do it, so can you. Like seriously. And when you close your eyes, smell the smells, see the visuals, feel the feelings that you want to be feeling once you're in that moment of the thing that you want to manifest. So powerful. And take your time with it. And every time you start thinking of something else, go back to the vision thing that you want to manifest.
How to get leaner if I'm underweight and lost my period?
Definitely, first of all, seeking out guidance from a professional. But if that is the case, then I wouldn't recommend getting leaner. I would focus on becoming healthy again. That's the first thing.
How do you stop being self-conscious when you're recording in public?
Oh my God. I had to ask myself, what do I want? Do I want to do this thing? Influencer? Content creator? Do I want to do that and not care about what anyone thinks about me in public? Or am I going to continue to hold myself back from filming these videos that I so deep down want to film, but I'm so embarrassed to? And once I got clear on the fact that I just want to do this, like this is what I want to do, then I had to make the decision to just not care about what people were going to think of me. Because I feel like when we allow ourselves to do something that maybe is a little bit outside of the norm, then we're going to inspire other people to do the same. They're either going to think you're crazy or they're going to feel inspired, and it'll allow them to do the same.
Why did you decide to change your life and be fit?
It was originally because I'd wanted to do it for so so long because I had this desire to. But then at one point I wanted to do fitness modeling. That was something I really wanted to do. And so right before I committed fully, someone close to me said, but you couldn't really do that. You're more the girl next door type of girl. And I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So I did.
There's one in Danish. Hvordan holder du dig til en träningsplan när tingene ikke går som man räknar med?
Can I read it? How do you keep yourself accountable to a training plan when things don't go the way you planned or wanted to? That was good Danish. I applaud you for that. Again, going back to like the non-negotiables, it's like regardless of what happens, I'm gonna stick to my training plan. It's about making that commitment to yourself, literally promising yourself that regardless of what happens, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna stick to my eating habits, I'm gonna stick to my training plan, and I am gonna do whatever it takes regardless of what gets in my way. I think that when we're committed, when we're determined, everything can go wrong and we're still gonna be able to somehow figure it out. And sometimes, just as a little side note, it can be very useful to have an accountability partner or some sort of accountability, unless you're like me where I was just like suddenly I snapped and I was like, I'm just gonna do this. And sometimes it can be very useful. Even if you're like, okay, I'm gonna send you $5,000 and if I don't stick to this plan, I've promised myself, you can't give it back to me. And then it's like, oh my gosh, if I don't go to the gym today, I'm gonna lose my $5,000. And we obviously don't wanna do that. So like something that's gonna keep us so accountable, like there's no way we're not gonna do it. Obviously I would not be giving away $5,000. That's like so much money, but you get the point. Thank you so much for baking banana bread with me, asking me some incredible questions. I hope you found some of the answers useful, and I love you, and I will see you again very soon. Or tomorrow. We're doing a 30-day challenge. We're still in the midst of it, so let's keep this going.